chlorination. That's chlorination. That's purifying your water in your Geepee tank, making it more clean and better for drinking. And this is very good for people in schools, organizations, and also at home. Now, first of all, what do you understand by chlorination? Chlorination is simply purification of water by applying chlorine or chlorine compound in your water, okay, to kill bacteria and also some viruses and other microbes in your water. Okay. Now, most importantly, chlorine water, it prevents a lot of waterborne diseases in your water. It kills them, and it takes a lot of it kills all those bacteria and the microbes in your water, especially your GT tank. That's your Storex, those Storex tank that is used in school and at home, and also other organizations. That's very quickly now for us to just understand very quickly. We don't want to waste much of our time. Now we have the nose mask here. We have the nose mask, okay, and we have the chlorine. The chlorine is here. We have the chlorine here, okay. We have your bowl, and you also have your teaspoon and water. So first and foremost, you put on your nose mask. You put on nose mask because of the chlorine. Just as I open it a bit, the scent, that's the chemical just the ooze out. So what do you do now? When you put on your nose mask, what do you do? Now you put on your nose mask. The first thing is you look at for those that are using probably like 1,000 liters, because the Storex tanks have different sizes. We have the 1,000 liters, we have the 3,000 liters, we have the 500 liters. Okay. So what do you do? How do you apply the chlorine? How do you use it to clean your GT tank, that's your Storex, your water at home and also in schools? Now, first, for those that have, let's start with, for instance, let's say we want to purify a tank that a Storex tank of 1,000 liters. 1,000 liters. For 1,000 liters, this is what you do. You use 1 teaspoon and a half. 1 teaspoon and a half. You take 1 teaspoon. You can see it on the chlorine. This is the chlorine. Then the powder chlorine. We use powder chlorine. Powder chlorine. Not the liquid one. You use the powder chlorine. Powder chlorine. So you take 1 teaspoon. You put it in an empty bowl. You now take one out of another same chlorine, so you take half teaspoon. This is a half. You put it in the water, in the empty bowl. So you quickly close it. So after taking it, put in the empty, what do you do now? You now mix it with what? You mix the water. You mix what? You pour the water there, so it will mix together. Okay, the reason why we are pouring the water is when you are mixing it with water, when you mix it with water, it's more it's better. You don't pour it you don't pour the powder chlorine direct into the GT tank. If you pour it direct, it will just settle under the GT tank, that's the Storex. But in this way, you mix it, when you put water, you stir it together, you stir it more, you see. So by the time you are stirring it more, what happens? You discover that the water will just stir. The water will be changing to white. You stir it like probably like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So by the time you do that, the water will be changed. You continue stirring. The water will just change to change it, becoming white. Okay. So when you mix it like this very well. You mix it very well, continuous, like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. So when you do that, after stirring it, you discover that the water will turn to white, and some of the powder chlorine will not be there. Because it will just be little. You will do it more, it will not be there. And the reason why we are stirring is that when you stir it like this and it mixed with the water, when you pour it in the water, it will now ferment and mix with the water in the GT tank. That's the Storex tank. Geepee tank, it will mix with the Storex tank. But if you pour the powder, if you just pour the powder in the tank, what happens is the powder will just go and settle under the water. But when you mix it like this very well, you mix it very well, and you pour it inside, it will mix with the water. And any bacteria and viruses or waterborne disease, all those bacteria and viruses and other microorganisms in the water will just die. And so the water will be suitable for drinking and using the water, using it for other things. But please, most importantly, before you do that, make sure that you wash your tank. It's very important. You wash your tank. When you wash your tank, you wash your tank, you now what? You now pump in what? Another water, fresh water. So when you pump in fresh water, you now what? You now pour, you do your processing, you do all this processing and pour it in what? In the GT tank. Okay, you can do that probably like once in 2 or 3 months, once in 3 months or 4 months. You can just be doing that, so you will always be having water, you will always be having a fresh and good water. So for instance, if you are doing it once in 4 months, which means in a year you are just doing it like 3 times in a year. So and where do you get all your chlorine? You can get your chlorine, or you get it at where they sell all these building materials, those the plumbers. You ask your plumbers, they have they sell, they tell you, or they direct where you can get, or you can send them to get chlorine for you. So you can use that to purify your water. Thank you so much, and God bless you.